So we're here at Voxxed Thessaloniki 2017, and I'm joined by Jeremy.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you today?
I'm good.
Excellent. So you're here, you're having a busy week actually. So you did a workshop yesterday around IoT.
Yeah.
You talked about Angular 2 today, and then tomorrow you've got a session about making things.
Right.
So let's talk about that. So tell me more about the session.
Well, we're calling the session The Future of Making Things, and in it we're going to talk about this concept of bringing things to life, the fact that we're all creators, and so we kind of have it all in us. I think in some of us it's maybe a little bit dormant, so if that's the case in somebody, I want to bring it out of them, and just talk about the value that modern printing techniques, 3D printing and subtractive techniques like milling bring to the individual who's just trying to bring a thing to life. And it's really the same process that we do in software, so a lot of the folks here are software developers, but we can do the same thing with hardware, with material design, bringing things to life. So yeah, we'll just kind of play with the concept, and then I'll actually make it a bit tangible too, because there's some creation software called Fusion 360 that you can use to design whatever it is that you're going to make, and I'll talk about that as well.
Cool. So, I mean, what got you into doing this? Are you inherently a very creative person?
You know, yeah, I mean, I think we all are. Again, that's going to be my argument, but it wasn't that long ago that I was starting to get into the concept of 3D printing, and this is cool, the technology's got some ways to go, but it's interesting, and then I realized one day that there's not really a limit to the scale of these 3D printers, and so I started imagining, what if we were 3D printing boats and vehicles and houses, and I mean, there's no end to what you could design and build in a relatively short process. And with things like the timeline and the cost being extremely predictable. When there's an error, it's just a tweak to the design, not the whole process, and then a reiteration,
So what's your favorite creation?
My favorite creation that I've created? Oh, wow. I would have to say my actual creation space. So my wife and I have a house in Seattle, and I built it's a shed, but I call it my studio, and I call it my maker studio. I built a 10 by 12 shed in the backyard, and I kind of decked it out on the inside with some of my maker stuff, and I made one of the walls nice that I could kind of shoot a video up against, and I like that. I think that's my favorite creation, because with that I could create other things.
So you created a space in which you can then create.
That's right.
Inside, perfect. And so you're going to be showing some examples tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
Any favorites there?
Yes. So my favorite creations are one that involve all four of the kind of aspects of a full design that at least from my perspective, the four aspects being material creations, so where you actually cut something out of wood or aluminum or bolt it together, the actual material fabrication. And then the second is when you put electronics in it and you start to make it smart. You kind of put what maybe looks like a brain, and then you add software to that, and you make that the electronics actually hum. You give it some more intelligence, and then you connect it to the cloud, and by the cloud, all of the other things. And so I like creations that encompass all of those. And the one that I'm thinking is some drone projects. One of them is a fleet of drones that all communicate with each other, and they use some fleet software that allows them to coordinate their movements. So that's one. And another one is a series of drones that was created by some folks. They presented it actually on TED. And these drones have physical models in them, so they're able to do things like balance a stick on top, or recover from a fall, or recover from being tipped upside down. They're even able to anticipate the trajectory of a ball that's thrown to them and catch it, and then throw it back. So pretty cool stuff.
Very cool, very cool. So I know that the people that are coming tomorrow will get access to all of this. If they've not been fortunate enough, I believe the session's being recorded, and then they can watch it. Anybody else can watch it online as well. So
yeah, I hope they will.
I hope that they do, and that you keep inspiring people.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Cheers.